How formidable is the cultivation base of the Great Elder of the Star Palace? Why is it said that his move single-handedly elevated the combat prestige of nascent soul cultivators to its peak? Even the renowned Supreme Yin ancestor, who dominated a vast region, could only submit meekly under his overwhelming pressure, utterly powerless to resist. As the leader of the Star Palace's 6 Great Elders, Jin Kui held an extremely high status within the palace. The Star Palace stood among the most powerful heritages in the chaotic Star Sea, and Jin Kui's cultivation had reached the pinnacle of the mid-nascent soul stage, just one step away from the late nascent soul stage. Such an achievement was already exceptionally remarkable in the chaotic Star Sea. Jin Kui made his first appearance with an inherent aura of overwhelming power. At that time, he had just concluded a 200-year seclusion, a critical phase for his breakthrough to the late nascent soul stage. However, an unexpected major crisis forced him to end his seclusion early and take charge of the overall situation. Though he failed to successfully break through to the late nascent soul stage, his emergence still invigorated the entire Star Palace. Back then, the island-protecting formation of Quixing Island had been destroyed by 2 figures Wu Chu and Feng Shi. Seizing the opportunity, a Tier 10 monster, the Thunder Rock, escaped, plunging the entire situation into chaos. Yet, the moment Great Elder Jin Kui appeared, he quickly gained control of the chaos. His top priority after ending his seclusion was to promptly and resolutely begin repairing the island-protecting formation. This formation held immense significance for the Star Palace. It acted like an impenetrable shield, blocking the passage between cultivators and monsters. Without this formation, countless monsters would flood into the chaotic Star Sea, leading to unimaginable consequences. The entire cultivation order of the chaotic Star Sea would be thrown into utter disarray. Jin Kui was well aware of this, and his decisive decisions and efficient actions fully demonstrated his responsibility and capabilities as a core leader of the Star Palace. After addressing the issue of the island-protecting formation, Jin Kui's next step was to deter the troublemakers. His gaze fell on Wu Chu, a core formation cultivator who had dared to show disrespect to the Star Palace. Jin Kui knew well that Wu Chu must have had powerful backers. Most likely, his supporting force was either from the righteous path or the demonic path. After all, the Star Palace had ruled the chaotic Star Sea for thousands of years. While neither the righteous nor the demonic path dared to openly oppose it, they constantly engaged in petty schemes. Wu Chu's actions this time were clearly a test. How could Jin Kui swallow this insult? He went straight to confront Wu Chu. With a display of his divine powers, he summoned a scorching sun, its radiance so dazzling that it blinded the eyes, and its power was simply astonishing. It seemed on the verge of leveling Supreme Yin Island to the ground. This spectacle terrified the people of Supreme Yin Island, quickly forcing out the Supreme Yin ancestor, who had reached the pinnacle of the early nascent soul stage. However, the Supreme Yin ancestor was no match for Jin Kui at all. Even as a respected nascent soul ancestor of the demonic path, he could only shower Jin Kui with pleas for mercy, saying everything he could to appease him. Jin Kui's move not only showcased his formidable strength but also declared to the entire chaotic Star Sea, the Star Palace was not to be trifled with, and anyone who dared to challenge its authority would pay a devastating price. The fact that he forced a figure like the Supreme Yin ancestor to show himself and even agree to kill someone on his behalf once the Void Sky Palace opened was a testament to Jin Kui's overwhelming deterrence. The Void Sky Palace became the stage where Jin Kui truly shone. On the lava path and profound crystal path within the palace, he killed nearly all core formation cultivators. This was no mere slaughter. Every move was part of his careful calculation. When the island-protecting formation was destroyed earlier, the Star Palace had suffered a blow to its reputation. Jin Kui sought not only to reclaim this dignity using the lives of elite cultivators from both the righteous and demonic paths to restore the Star Palace's honor, but also to seize the opportunity to weaken the strength of both paths. Thus, he continuously increased the dangers on these 2 paths. On the lava path, he created a black desert infested with countless iron fire ants. On the profound crystal path, he summoned terrifying glowing trees. These traps caused heavy casualties among the powerful figures of the righteous and demonic paths. Even a strong cultivator like Old Fiend Red Fire, who had reached the pinnacle of the late core formation stage, fell victim to Jin Kui's schemes. Jin Kui was like a hidden manipulator, toying with these core formation cultivators as if they were mere pawns. His strategies and tactics were displayed in full force at this moment. In the inner hall of the Void Sky Palace, Jin Kui's actions further revealed his decisiveness and ruthlessness. Han Li had been forcibly taken as a disciple by the Supreme Yin ancestor, who then manipulated a spider to seize the Void Sky Cauldron. Jin Kui believed the Void Sky Cauldron rightfully belonged to the Star Palace and must not fall into the hands of outsiders. Without hesitation, he used an avatar talisman to enter the inner hall and intervene. He launched a swift and fierce attack on Han Li and his spider. Though Han Li narrowly escaped, the spider was unfortunately killed. This incident not only ignited Han Li's desire to kill Jin Kui but also showed everyone Jin Kui's willingness to do whatever it took to achieve his goals. In his mind, the interests of the Star Palace were above all else. Anyone who dared to stand in the way of the Star Palace's future would become his enemy. Even when facing a nascent soul powerhouse like Xianxia, Jin Kui did not take him seriously at all. In the end, he simply turned and left, boasting boldly, "Anyone who refuses to submit can come to Quixing Island to seek revenge on me." From his usual performance, Jin Kui's status in the Star Palace was second only to the two sages of the Star Palace. Moreover, while the two sages were in seclusion, Jin Kui took full charge of all the Star Palace's affairs. This not only reflected the two sages' trust in him but also testified to his capabilities and prestige. He made decisive judgments in killing and punishment, handled affairs in an orderly manner, and managed the Star Palace impeccably, securing its dominant position in the chaotic Star Sea. However, Jin Kui's fate was fraught with twists and turns. When the lifespan of the two sages of the Star Palace was about to end, they fought to the death with one Sangu and the six-path Supreme Sage, resulting in mutual destruction. The throne of the Star Palace was then passed to Lin Yeling. Though Lin Yeling was capable, she only had a cultivation base at the early nascent soul stage, and her cultivation techniques were not powerful enough to intimidate the arrogant Jin Kui. Jin Kui had long believed that as the Star Palace's second-in-command, ascending to the top position was only a matter of time. However, the two sages directly passed the throne to their daughter, leaving Jin Kui deeply resentful. Amidst external threats and internal strife, Jin Kui launched a rebellion. What he did not expect was that most people in the Star Palace remained loyal to Lin Yeling. His plan was leaked early, and he himself was lured into a trap. In the end, he was torn apart and killed by the spirit trapping formation laid out by Lin Yeling. Even in his final moments, Jin Kui demonstrated his formidable strength. He unleashed a secret technique before his death and managed to kill several Star Palace elders. In summary, Jin Kui was like a double-edged sword. His overwhelming power and domineering demeanor left a deep impression on everyone. With his absolute strength at the Mid-Nascent Soul stage, he single-handedly supported the Star Palace through crises, forced the Supreme Yin Ancestor to submit, and made both the righteous and demonic paths fear him. Yet, he was trapped by his obsession with power. Though he was once the stabilizing pillar of the Star Palace, his unwillingness to remain in a subordinate position ultimately led to his tragic end, dying in the formation. It is this contrast between the glory of a powerhouse and the delusions of an ordinary man that makes Jin Kui such a compelling and unforgettable character.